Hi there, and welcome to the Home Studio Rescue here on YouTube. My name is Chris, and today I'm going to be talking about whether or not Pro Tools is the right digital audio workstation for home studio owners, for people who are mostly just recording themselves in a basement or a spare bedroom with a Midi keyboard and a microphone. So I'm going to show you some stuff in Pro Tools, and then we're going to look at Logic as well and just kind of discuss some of the different options out there. So let's jump into Pro Tools. Okay, so here we are in Pro Tools. I have all of the virtual instruments pulled up that come with Pro Tools. I have Boom here, which is kind of their drum machine, drum programming device. And the thing I'm going to say before I talk about any of these plugins is that they're all about 20 years old. They may have done little updates to presets and things like that, but these plugins are old and outdated. And as far as Boom goes, I don't really ever use that. This organ, the DB33 here, it's okay. Occasionally I'd use it. It's fine for an organ sound, but it's not really anything to phone home about, or that I would even, if I had to go out and buy it, I wouldn't do it. And then this is Expand, and this is their main source of coming up with all kinds of sounds. They have a ton of sounds in here. Whether or not any of them are actually usable or that good, that's up to you to decide. For me, occasionally I'll use sounds from this, but I've really kind of shied away from it, especially as I've gone out and bought third-party plugins that are just way better. And so the one thing I can say right off the bat about this compared to like Logic or Ableton, Logic comes with a ton of stuff that is useful and sounds good right out of the box, and you don't have to sit there and go through. I mean, there is just hundreds of settings here, and half of this stuff is just unusable. So I guess that's my way of saying that I really don't like the plugins that come with Pro Tools. I don't think they come anywhere near competing with Ableton or Logic or you name a DAW, and that DAW probably has better virtual instruments. So when it comes to being a home studio owner, if you're going to be using a MIDI keyboard and a microphone, Pro Tools probably isn't for you. To me, it really thrives recording a live band. If you have to put multiple sources on an instrument, and that's not because it sounds better, or really for me, I recorded in Pro Tools for the last 12 years, and I did record live bands, and I really learned how to be a Pro Tools wizard and know all the key commands, and so that's why I still use it. But if it wasn't for those things, at this point, I'm a home studio owner. I have a couple of microphones and a MIDI keyboard, and I don't need multiple channels. But if you're recording live sources and having to edit all that stuff, I do enjoy editing in Pro Tools, especially a live performance, and it's just great for that. But as far as like being in this home studio, you don't need it. Here's the Mini Grand. Again, this is a mediocre plugin. It sounds fake. And then for vacuum, I do use this for bass occasionally. It is pretty good. But as you can see here with Structure Free, I mean, this thing looks like it's from 1998 or something. And it comes with a lot of different presets. But these presets, some of them are usable, some of them aren't. That's what it is with Pro Tools as far as I'm concerned. If you're just starting out, Pro Tools is pretty expensive to get into, and you don't need it. You don't need it to impress people. It doesn't sound better or anything like that. For me, it's just an ease of use thing, and it's something that I know. And for a commercial studio, I do think it's nice to have Pro Tools. A lot of people use it in that regard. And for me, if I was recording a live band, I would definitely want to be in Pro Tools. But if I was recording like I am in my home studio here, or just starting out, if I had to recommend something to myself or to anyone, I would go with Logic. They have just a lot of different instruments. It comes with everything you need. It has drummer, it has Wurlitzer sounds, it has piano sounds, it has synthesizers for days. It has everything you need. That's one of those DAWs where it's $200. It's a pretty good deal, and it comes with a lot of stuff. Now, I'm not saying this because I get any benefit out of it. I just believe that if you're just writing music, Logic is a good place to start. For me to have in Pro Tools what I would do in Logic, I'll go to my folder here for all of my instruments, and this just came with Slate Digital, the Anna 2, but I do have a subscription to Serum. I use that a lot. I had to buy Easy Drummer, which is one of my favorite drum programs, and I have Contact. I have a lot of different virtual instruments that, even if you have Logic, you still might end up having to buy those things, but Logic out of the box starts you off with, you could be making music immediately that sounds current, that sounds up to date, it sounds cool. And with Pro Tools, you're really going to struggle with that if that's your main thing. If all you're using is a MIDI keyboard, you're really going to have to go out and get third-party plugins. So that's what I feel about for the home studio user. I went to Sweetwater and I was just looking around. I haven't tried Persona Studio One, but that looks like it's $99. There's Cubase. I got a comment just saying that people who buy Pro Tools just have disposable income, which I don't believe that's true. Most digital audio workstations, to get the, I guess the professional version of Studio One, is $400. Ableton, I think it's somewhere between $600 and $700, depending on the features you want. There is Reaper, which is, I think it's like $60, so it's pretty cheap. But to get into any digital audio workstation, it's usually pretty expensive. I mean, there are starter packages here that we can see on Sweetwater. I guess the thing that I would try to say in this video is that you don't need to feel like you need Pro Tools. For a long time, I would get that question, oh, are you in Pro Tools? And it was kind of a status symbol, or it was something where people didn't take you seriously. I think those days are over. But honestly, if you're a home studio user and you're just using the studio for yourself, try some of this stuff. Like Reaper, you can try it for free. Ableton came with, I have a version of Ableton that came with my Focusrite Scarlett Solo that I have laying around. There's ways to try this stuff. I think you can try Pro Tools for free. Try the different digital audio workstations and pick whatever works for you and your workflow. You don't have to have one particular one. I just wanted to throw that out there. I feel like Pro Tools is definitely not the digital audio workstation for home studio users at this point. For me, I just use it because I've been doing it for 12 years and that's my workflow and I'm very used to it. Is there going to be a day where I might switch to something else? Maybe so. But for right now, I'm in Pro Tools, but you don't have to be. You can pick whatever DAW you like, whichever one works for you. So if you got any value out of this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. Also, let me know down below in the comments which DAW do you use or do you want to use. If you have any questions for me, you can leave them down there and I'll definitely get back to you. So thank you guys so much for watching if you made it this far, and I'll catch you on the next one.